And welcome to section 3, tailoring and adopting PRINCE2. This section covers both tailoring and adopting. The focus is more on tailoring for the foundation as well as practitioner exam. Adoption is not part of the exam syllabus. PRINCE2 for a project should be tailored or adapted, meaning adjusted to suit the project and its environment. So please note this term adapt, meaning adjust or modify the way PRINCE2 will be used in a project based on the PRINCE2 guidance from Excelos. The maximum control with the minimum bureaucracy so that everything is in control, but the team isn't overburdened. Because every project is unique, has its own complexity, has its own set of stakeholders. There may be different expectations to manage the project and the way the project is planned, monitored, and controlled. So sometimes there may be extra bureaucracy necessary. Sometimes too much command and control may be necessary. However, the guideline is have the maximum control so that the project succeeds. Whereas don't make it bureaucratic. Don't make it unnecessarily command based. Because if there is too much of bureaucracy, there is a lot of burdens. There may be too many approvals required, which can be an additional burden and loss of time during the project. Let's look at what adoption means. The PRINCE2 method itself may be tailored or adopted or modified for the organization. The adopted method will provide project tailoring guidelines. So on one hand, what we are learning now is PRINCE2. This PRINCE2 has tailoring guidelines, and that is known as adaptation, meaning use the tailoring guidelines suitably to manage our unique project situation. On the other hand, if we take this PRINCE2 and if we think we want to modify it by changing the way PRINCE2 works, maybe making it much easier or totally different, then it is known as adaptation. However, keeping some of the core concepts of PRINCE2 as is, however, changing other items maybe in a slightly or more significant manner. So that is known as adaptation. An adopted method needs to be embedded, practiced as normal into an organization's work practices. This can take time. So when PRINCE2 is being used in an organization, it may take time for people to get used to it. And then eventually over a period of few years, PRINCE2 will become a standard way of working in an organization. And particularly when PRINCE2 itself is modified to suit an organization's needs, meaning when it is adopted, then embedding will be more challenging because a new way of working may be necessary within an organization, which means people's behaviors may have to change. Therefore, the concept of adoption and embedding is not in the syllabus. Chapter 21 of the manual, therefore, is not in the syllabus. However, the basic chapter on tailoring is part of the syllabus. For the practitioner exam, it is also important to understand how every theme, every process can be tailored. Tailoring PRINCE2. Tailoring should add value, therefore too much tailoring should be avoided. Some of these phrases could be important for the foundation exam. For example, bureaucracy should be less, but control should be more. On the other hand, tailoring should also add value. Whenever tailoring an element of PRINCE2, its impact on another element should also be checked. So for example, if we are changing the way a particular theme is used in PRINCE2, we should be also checking whether any of the processes are impacted because of the change in a business case theme, for example. Tailoring should not increase project risk and should be based on constraints and influences on the project. Let's take an example of tailoring wherein a project has a certain number of stages and a certain duration for every stage. In order to move from one stage to another, there may be a very thorough assessment or a check, or there could be a very basic assessment or check before moving to the next stage. So one needs to be cautious whether if we not checking thoroughly, is it okay for the project or does it create some risks by not checking thoroughly? So therefore, the tailoring should not increase project risk. Tailoring is done by the project manager in consultation with the project stakeholders, particularly project assurance, and documented in the PID or the project initiation document. or documentation, which means it is the project manager who documents how the tailoring will be done, meaning how the stage and reviews will happen, what are the roles, terminology, etc. in this project, how the roles are combined or how the roles are split. Are there any modifications to the way the themes and processes are used as part of tailoring? And this is done by the PM. However, the PM would have to consult several stakeholders, maybe the customer side or the internal side, and the technical functions as well, and therefore consulting those stakeholders also. Of importance could be consultation with project assurance. Project assurance is one of the roles in PRINCE2 who keep a watch on the project management. Meaning project assurance will check whether project management standard is being followed or not, whether the reviews are done as per the project plan, whether the project plan is being adhered to, whether the project plan itself is of good quality or not. They may also monitor the usage of the money, etc. Therefore, they may be good to consult to for tailoring the project because of their past experience in assuring project success. Tailoring is approved by the project board. So while the tailoring is documented by the PM in consultation and it is put as part of the PID as a section, but it is actually needs to be approved by the project board. So the project board will review the tailoring and maybe have further consultation with stakeholders and then authorize it or ask the PM to improve the tailoring aspects. Tailoring should be as per the policies and procedures of the commissioning organization, meaning the customer, the corporate, or the program management. So it could be that culture, the organization culture, customer needs may impact tailoring. For example, the periodicity of reporting or the way a certain audits are done are all part of tailoring. That was about the tailoring in general. Let's look at tailoring the themes. Tailoring of theme will be detailed in the management approaches, meaning every theme has a management approach. So we have the quality management approach, risk management approach, change control approach in the progress theme, and communications management approach in the organization theme. Whereas quality and risk management approach are part of the quality theme and the risk theme. Each of these management approach are nothing but a sort of a plan. For example, how to plan the quality, how to plan for risk, how to plan for change control, and how to plan the communications. Therefore, each of these plans or management approaches will document how that theme will be tailored. For example, in the quality theme, the tailoring can be done by defining what will be the structure for the product descriptions or what could be the structure for the project product descriptions. And the tailoring section of the project initiation document will also include some additional guidelines for tailoring of the project. Monitoring, control, and reporting under the theme can be adjusted. So as part of tailoring, the way the project is monitored, the type of techniques which are used for monitoring, the way the project is controlled, meaning how the escalations are raised or exceptions are raised, how they are processed can be tailored in a project. And the way the reporting is done and the content of the reports can also be tailored. High risk and highly formal projects will require more attention to these. The more the project risk, the more the formality, the more the tailoring upwards rather than tailoring downwards. Tailor the procedures and the language, meaning terminology. PRINCE2 terms can be tailored. For example, a business case theme may be called as something else. It may be called as a justification theme. The quality theme may be labeled as requirements theme, and so on. Similarly, the project board may be called as a steering committee. Though PRINCE2 provides guidance for the themes, the details are generally left to the organization as long as minimum requirements of the themes are followed, because PRINCE2 is not prescriptive. Though on one hand we have the PRINCE2 guidance in detail, but PRINCE2 is very flexible, meaning as part of tailoring, the theme can be applied in the right manner possible, which makes the project succeed based on the conditions or the environment in which the project is running. However, a key condition there is the minimum requirements of every theme need to be followed. For example, in the business case theme, one of the minimum requirements is that there must be a business justification for the project or a reason for the project to be started. Similarly, if you go to the progress theme, one of the minimum conditions is that tolerances must be defined at the project level, at the stage level, and at the work package level. Theme purpose should not be compromised. Every theme has a certain purpose, which we will see afterwards, and those purposes should not be compromised. Caution is necessary when reassigning the directing and managing roles to avoid conflicts of interest. As part of the organization theme, we will see that there is a project board role, which is a directing role, and there is a project manager role, which is a managing role. And there is also a team manager role, which is a delivering role. Therefore, the roles may be combined as long as there is no conflict of interest between these roles. So caution is necessary when roles are being combined or being reassigned. For example, the project manager himself or herself cannot be a member of the project board. Similarly, the project board cannot become the project manager or could become the project manager. So we will learn about those things afterwards. With that, we have come to the end of the tailoring section. Let's continue in a moment to